yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Rodgers going to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now they try the right side here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now Stafford hands to Abdullah. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Abdullah. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
From the pistol, they'll run with Abdullah down to the 25. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
One of the things that I observed when Dante Fowler was coming out in the NFL draft, how hard he played the game. Every time I turned on a tape, he was either rushing the passer, making a play, or making a play in space against a ball downfield, or hustling from one sideline to the other. How about that play right there? Making a nice tackle, holding it to a short gain.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
That's fielded in the end zone. And now out comes Minnesota. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
10 yards still left on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. gun. It's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Now a handoff looking right. He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I'm wondering, partner, if they might need to sub him out for a play or two, because after that long run he just had on the previous play, he might not have all of his breath back.
Yeah, and they went right back to that well. Different result. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sims. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
One thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On third and long, it's Rodgers. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. Rodgers now on first down. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 18. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
They run with Abdullah. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They go with Abdullah again. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. So we have reached, and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Rodgers now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jarrett Davis in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 33. 12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's Abdullah running right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
A handoff to Abdullah, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put...
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get into that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So here come the Lions now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Second down, 9 yards to go. From the gun, here's Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
This is Abdullah. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. They try the right side with Abdullah, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing now is Rodgers. He gets it to Sims, complete. And they'll take him down at the 1-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now Rodgers. It's complete to Grant. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
On 1st down, Stafford here. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking left sideline, it's complete. 19 yards that time for number 19.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 21-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Lions on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Stafford. He finds Roberts, complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Michael Roberts, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
319!
On first down, Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Prater on to add the extra point. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now they try the right side here. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Vikings send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he fields it cleanly. A Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. Stafford now to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Gibson. He will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run left with Abdullah. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Abdullah. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. A toss to Abdullah. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. This is Abdullah. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Lions on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Throwing is Stafford. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 28, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon.